again, they've been first picking the Aphelios because OMG just keep banning Jinx. They ban Zeri along with it and Gwen. 3 powerful picks still in 12.4, and RNG just take the 4th one.
It's the exact same ban phase that we saw the last time. I think the only difference was we had one more. Yeah, RNG actually banning the Volibear this time. We had another ban top last time, I believe it was. But we have to see now what the game plan is. Is Nautilus locked in? Do we just go back towards the Graves here as well? It was picked up last time. Or no, it was the jungler.
Oh, it was. It was. And honestly, trying to remember that. Yeah, it was the Graves jungle. So it could be that same option. I like that you know the Volibear then.
It was the Rise.
It was the Rise. You know why we couldn't remember? Because we got in the game. We didn't talk about drafts at all. Hey, there we go again. So similar draft, similar conditions. Let's just see how they exemplify it this time around.
Let's see if OMG have any sort of patience at level 1 is the big thing. I actually didn't mind the draft from OMG last time. I thought it was pretty cool. A lot of comfort, like definitely had a win condition. I just didn't agree with coin flipping at level 1. I think you had the level 6 that you could have tried to play around. RNG though are adapting the draft here, so picking up the Alistar early, not letting the Alistar get banned away, which Alistar really good against the Samira, because you not only got the headbutt to like put her back out of position when she tries to go for her E in, but also you've got like the pulverize, which can cause her issues, especially starts to ult, and even if she tries to hold on to the ult for a little bit longer, that's when you start to ramp up those E stacks and you can get the point and click auto attack. So Alistar super good against her. Xin Zhao going to be taken for Wei here with the Volibear gone. Xin Zhao kind of riding up as that the main skirmisher in the jungle now.
But even you talk about good solutions against Samira. Xin Zhao, another great one, right? 3 Talon Strike. Ulti comes out if you're not challenged too. There's a lot to deal with Abel, so it looks like still a very hard game to play the Samira. Maybe that's why Creme decides on the Sylas here, Dagda.
Yeah, and I think Creme has a lot of options here on this Sylas. Like, both the Alistar ult, phenomenal for the Sylas, and the Xin Zhao ult as well, because you just give him so much survivability. And a lot of the way Sylas has been played now is that Conqueror with W max, so it is all about going low, getting the extra damage and the extra heal coming off of your W, and being able to, you know, have these invulnerability ultimates or ultimates that help you survive are really key to Sylas. So that's why Creme feels comfortable here to just lock him in, and you're going to ban away things like the Rise, the Ari, things that can make issues here for the Sylas.
And it is a different direction then, right? Because all in for the bottom lane doesn't seem to be the way here. A volatile lane for Creme, one that he's been strong on in the past. And you mentioned the bans away. RNG have started banning away jungle top on the other side. So we don't have the Hecarim. We don't have the Rumble for Shanji, which is his pocket that is pretty strong with the 5 extra armor buff. But OMG, look, Shen's still available, Dagda.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, especially if you're thinking like, hey, a lot of like OMG's game plan is the sustain game. Like, get the Immortal Shield Bow and the sustain for the Samira, sustain for the Sylas. Shen can work wonders in that scenario. So honestly, wouldn't be massively surprised just to see what the game plan is here for RNG to what they want to pick in the top lane. If you get the Camille, I definitely could see Shanji going back towards the Shen.
Dude, what a shame there's not going to be the Heimerdinger. Just saying, as Sylas would have had a pretty rough time. So disappointed that Xiaohu didn't bring it out, because this could be their last game of the regular season. Remember that if RNG win this, they won't have to play for a hell of a long time, Dagda. It'll be next week. You know, when V5 start their round 3 journey. Is it round 3 or round 4? We have a lot of rounds. Where am I? Which one is Dagda?
The round 4 is where RNG would end up, yeah. With,
Thank you.
And doubling in their back pockets as well. Now,
yeah,
my question is this a Sylas top? Because he has played it before, but I'm not sure what he played it into. I'm just having a quick look to see if he was...
You do that while I question... because at the very least, if Nah gets locked in, then we're going to say a massive no. It's going to be Creme. Because we do know that Creme's played at the majority right on this team. So going up against LeBlanc, we get a distortion, I should say. Kennen looked at here. Shanji going to pick it up. So Dagda, it looks a little bit more standard this time from OMG. No Shen, no 5-man bot at 3 minutes in the game to lose the game. Run me through OMG because it looks a little bit more AoE heavy.
Yeah, definitely a big team fight squad here. Again, the Kennen and the Nautilus try to set up for that Samira. Also enable the Sylas to a certain extent as well. But something that can do pretty well against what RNG have, right? There's some tanks in the Xin Zhao, kind of. Alistar kind of being the big tool there. But if Ming is using that Alistar to engage, well, then that kind of able to kind of be set up in these fights. So we're going to be keeping our eyes to see how this Samira can do, especially if they're able to play it down towards this bot side in the early stages. The only problem that I have for them is Sylas not the best at kind of getting control in the matchup early against the LeBlanc, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Xiaohu making some roams down bot and just trying to put some manners onto Samira in the early stages.
Yeah, getting out of the lane as LeBlanc, always an X factor, right? And, you know, coming down to it as well, Dagda, I also love the skirmishing coming through, right? Especially when you have lanes that want to be rolling ahead in this game. Sylas, Samira, even the Kennen to an extent. This feels like for OMG a much more constituted game plan to their strengths. When you talked about the all-in, we know that OMG have been, you know, one of the better team fighting teams. That has been one of their strengths. The problem is it's the lanes that they flip. It's the early games that they flip that won't let them get to that point, as we've seen during the regular season.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if that will be a bit of what we get, especially Aki. Like, whenever I look at Aki, I'm just like, oh, okay, this man is the, well, maybe not so much this bit, but was the most aggressive man in the world in the jungle. Like, level 2 ganks on Graves consistently, not even just as a one-off. Aki has kind of taken a little bit of a calmer approach this split, and it has worked out in some regards, but I still always keep an eye on him to see if he can make those ganks happen. And mid lane here with that Sylas, if you end up distorting for the Xiaohu to try and get some poke or try and get some push, there is always the chance here for Creme and Aki to try and turn that mid lane around.
Yeah, especially when we have Creme again on this Sylas. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. I'm going to bring that up because going up against Xiaohu here, it's going to be about how Creme, you know, can get to that point, because Dagda, Xiaohu has Ignite, Xiaohu has Electrocute. That is a very aggressive LeBlanc who's all about winning that mid lane matchup and then wreaking havoc on the rest of the map. And as we return to game 2, as we return to the series, I should say, game 1 was over in a second. OMG decided to level 1, level 2 dive bot with all their members. They sacrificed top wave and it didn't go well. So when OMG are already out of playoffs, they're going to go a little bit simpler here, but still try and, you know, be ringleaders around RNG, who, with this win, no matter what, if it's a 2-0 or 2-1, RNG will secure second place and go straight to round 4, where they get straight to double elimination.
Yeah, and it'd be massive for RNG. Just having that much breathing room, kind of getting your chance to like spot out the other teams, figure out exactly what the meta is on 12.5B as well is super important. And even being able to hide certain picks that you may not want to bring out or show, like especially as we're kind of talking about, like Lucian, Nami could be pretty good in the patch. Ashe, also a champion that I think is a bit underrated. When I look across at other regions, like I don't think she's seen a huge amount of play. I know Lucian's been playing a little bit in the LCS and stuff, but I think Ashe is going to be really strong with the buffs to her W. So yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting, especially for the teams that are later on, if they are able to hold on to any secrets, or even if it means, oh well, we completely misread the patch, we need to actually go back to the drum.
I think as well, you mentioned Ashe coming back here. Dagda, I've been casting a bit of PCS, as you know. We actually saw an Ashe Tahm-Kench bottom lane, and it was so instrumental for the pick potential of the comp. So it was really nice to see with the on-here build. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for tomorrow. Kind of excited to see what we get in 12.5B. Yeah, heads up, it is the mid patch of 12.5 as well. So we get it all inclusive. And it's going to be really weird for us, you know, the whole team, Dagda, moving to a patch the next day and just seeing how teams have been preparing for it when, yeah, we're still casting on 12.4 here.
Yeah, I think at least for RNG, as we say, like they've got a bit of timing regardless of where they finish up, but certainly teams like FPX that only just played, like you don't have a lot of times to practice both 12.4 and 12.5B, but Way, no surprise here, make his presence known in the mid lane, just trying to see if he can get some pressure there as Cole shows that creep who's boss.
Yeah, he does. Nice dredge line there. Gala steps up knowing there's no engage potential further. OMG get level 3 first with a pushed out wave, but still backing away because on the bottom side, Wei has been spotted out. He head towards bot, got Scuttle Crab, and is just heading back to his camps. For now, Aki is also on the top side of the map, so it is a bit of a trade of sides. Well, Bin is soloing out the Scuttle, but here with the end of the line, he picks it up. Shanji with a good trade back, but only moves Bin to half HP. The Scuttle is secured, which means RNG have both rivers under control.
Yeah, and it gets a little bit of extra gold experience for Bin, which is always nice.
Nice.
I'm a little bit upset though. I was kind of hoping. So there's actually LeBlanc with Doran's Blade that's starting to crop up a little bit in the mid lane. We saw it a little bit at Worlds as well. And I actually think against Sylas, it's a super good way to play the matchup. Because, as we said, like, the one way that you lose out in this lane is Xiaohu is, like, when you distort forward like that. Where you, like, look for the play, try to poke out Creme, and then suddenly Trundle shows up and you're in trouble. And with the Doran's Blade, though, it's really, really strong. Where you can just continuously auto it down Creme. It gives you a ton of control over the wave. And you're really hard to burst out because you've got the extra health that comes through as well, and you're able to just hold on to the distortion the whole time. But not gonna be able to see it, but it's just something to keep in mind if we start to like press into playoffs and Sylas is a little bit more prominent. These kind of melee matchups for LeBlanc, like Doran's Blade is actually really strong against.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, especially on some of the better mid laners, right? Willing to pull out some of this new tech as well. Xiaohu's still doing fine in the matchup though for now, pushing in the wave. Creme's going to be down by about 5 CS depending. As he goes in for the trade once again. Xiaohu just having a great time with the kill threat still there with Ignite and Electrocute. Now Dagda, coming at this point when we've seen no blood, when the first game was only shenanigan focused, I might be a little bit upset, but I am quite relatively impressed with the laning phase so far from RNG. And I wanted to ask you a little bit more about how this very simply looking comp operates towards the early parts of this game.
Yeah, so for RNG, it's going to be a case of, look, can we get Wei and Xiaohu to link up and look for these early objectives? At the moment, Creme on the Sylas can do a reasonably good job of keeping himself topped up in this lane, because every time Xiaohu goes to trade with the distortion, you're able to use the W to heal yourself back up. You're able to hold on to the E, where you can hop forward, get the heal and a bit of damage off, and then hold on to the chains, where if Xiaohu stays in the trade too long, you can then get the CC and follow up, or you're able to actually like jump after Xiaohu when he tries to reset. So at the moment you can see Creme pretty even on CS, relatively speaking, for the way Sylas matchups work. What you got to look for is Aki here coming across to try and help Creme.
Yeah, it's a level 4 Trundle, but Wei is coming up the river, so it'll depend how long Xiaohu can hold him at bay. Level 6 here for Xiaohu as well. So this mid lane LeBlanc not threatened for the time being. The wave is pushing as well with about a minute and a half, a wave and a half's worth. As Creme gets pushed up against the turret again, it's just a Xiaohu's time. Aki can't do too much. They know he's towards mid, and yeah, I'll be honest, not as captivating for me as an early game as the Ripper Shen. But yeah, still clean stuff from what you expect as the second best team.
Yeah, I think for OMG, they're the ones that really have to step up to the mark. And I think that's why we're seeing RNG kind of take a step back. Like, you've got Bin who's going to do well in side lanes later on in the game, especially if he goes to the Hull Breaker. But you've got Gala who's going to outscale Abel as well. So at the moment, like, trying to avoid a lot of the early game presence from OMG is probably best. Whereas Aki, I want to see him getting active and trying to see if he can help out that side.
Whew, Ignite down. Creme using the stolen hijack. And he gets out there alive. Xiaohu now with the Ignite down, but Creme doesn't have the teleport available. The wave about to push up too, so he's going to lose a bit of CS for this one, Dagda, and just kind of what we expected more in the matchup.
Yeah, and again, this is why I want to see, like, Xiaohu, if he can actually, like, make some plays off this, because waves now collapse, you get to go back, you've got about a 13 CS lead, so just get yourself into a nice spot where now with the Lost Chapter, you're not exactly running out of mana particularly quickly, especially when Creme is still waiting on his own Lost Chapter to be completed. So just shove in, see if you can try and rotate bot, and I feel like bot is where this game is going to get explosive, because you're trying to stop this Samira from getting rolling, because realistically, she's going to be your main issue in team fights.
Hello. Well, Dagda, you could never have been more right in timing. Ming with the knock-up flash. Abel tagged the 3-talent strike for one more piece of the knock-up. Trample as well. The poke from afar after Infernum comes down. Abel now with no summoners, and Cold helps him defend. Dagda, there you go.
Cold being clutch there. Just about getting in to make sure that they couldn't follow up on Abel underneath the tower, but RNG won't be dissuaded.
Yeah, end of the line's going to come through. Now, Bin just keeps taking objectives in front of Shanji. Look at this, stepping up. He has collateral damage as well. Auto, a flash, ulti comes through. I think Bin thought he had the damage, but it's just unfortunate considering that OMG are still on the Herald. Now, Xiaohu moving in on top of Aki. There's the Subjugate. Pillar good as well. Aki kiting around the Rift Herald. He smites, he heals back up. And at least OMG are getting something on the top side of the map, no matter how close.
Yeah, and this could actually help out OMG pretty substantially if they can get this into the right spot, get some gold back in their favor, and again, just try to snowball, because the mid-game is where OMG are strongest here with the champions that they have. So we'll have to see what they're able to do. They've already forced Bin back. This could just be gold that they try to put in towards Shanji in the top side if RNG are going to try and punish Abel with no summoner spells available on the bot side.
Yeah, Kazaki's sticking around, so it looks pretty likely. Shanji with the TP as well. It's 9 minutes in the game, so going to be used as the top side turret as Creme comes on back. I mean, this guy having a bit of a rough time in the lane, but Xiaohu's still just abusing. It's 0 kills at 9 minutes, and I'm sick of it. Dagda, Bin's walking into enemy territory. He can't be here. He's flash available, but he's dead. There we go. Blood to OMG.
Nicely done. I mean, as you said, Aki just sticking around, takes the Gromp, and takes Bin's life as a little bit of a, well, not a consolation prize, a bit of a cherry on top for him.
Yeah.
Now, you got to look and see, right, Aki, where are you planning to go here? Because that play has been nice, but he's been relatively quiet thus far, despite the fact that, like, Trundle, as you can see, is actually stronger than the Xin Zhao in the early stages. Great dueling potential, able to steal away done at the AD, which makes it hard for the Xin Zhao. You're healing to match, and you're able to clear through the jungle a bit faster, so you end up with the XP advantage too. So I want to see now if you can start making plays bot, because again, it's the Samira that needs to be set up as the carry here if you're hoping to win this game as OMG.
So we'll just have a quick look at the replay. Aki doing something in the top lane. Dagda, I'm not going to lie. You know, coming into second game, when I saw the draft and went, they're going to go normal. They're at least going to pick the Samira up. That's kind of exciting. Nothing's happened. It's just been the top side. They're setting up Shanji, as you talked about before. And, yeah, I don't know. Kind of let down. Kind of let down considering that today, I'm just here to chill out in the cast with you. We start playoffs tomorrow. I'm going to be doing second day of playoffs. Wait, does that mean I'm doing EDG FPX? Hang on a minute. Dagda.
Yes, you're doing EDG FPX.
Oh! That's exciting. Lyric and I are doing EDG FPX. Dude, that's awesome.
Oh, wait, are you doing...
I thought
you were in day one.
No, I'm not day one.
No, it's... Okay, no. Yeah, you're EDG FPX.
We gotta continue to thank Ashin. So, Ashin opening up playoffs, that is pretty PogChamp. Note the playoff time's different as well. At the moment, it is saying 1/4 the hour. We'll confirm that a little bit closer as well. Dagda, I know you'll be jumping on one of the series, either Top Esports or Weibo Gaming, at least one of them. Dude, you covered it at such a good time. Your round 2 is literally like the bloodthirsty teams of the LPL.
This is why I got some. This was the whole reason, so I could sneak in and take the next ones. You know, take the round 2. That was my plan this whole time. It had nothing to do with me just being very unfortunate and miserable for the last few days.
You were strategic, dude. Yeah, you did that so that you could get Top Esports or Weibo Gaming. You guys might be sitting in chat, sitting out there, whether you YouTube, Twitch, whatever, and wondering, man, why do these casters sound like they're not really into OMG RNG? Well, I'm not going to speak for Dagda. Game 1, I was super into it because it was freaking hilarious. Game 2, RNG, look, they look like the stronger team. They are the more consistent team throughout the split. They're fighting for second seed. But OMG are already out of playoffs. And OMG are a team that, unfortunately, yesterday got to Game 3 against LNG, but then LNG, finding the final hurdle, would manage to knock them out, secure themselves in round 3. And this match is, right now, just about assuring us that RNG are... you know, up there with V5 and deserve to go into double elimination. It's such a big win, but the game's slow. And Dagda, we know that RNG are not necessarily the quickest team in the world. They play like this all the time.
Yeah, I think the reason why I'm so high in RNG is just because how consistent they've been. Like when I look at the... Oh, hang on. Hey, hello.
Yeah, you don't have to hang on. 3 Talon Strike. Good little dredge line. Knocked up here. Audacious Charge won't follow suit. Gala moves up as well. Creme and Xiaohu going at it. Ignite goes down once again here from the LeBlanc, and Xiaohu wants to continue his pursuit. We go to the top side. It's first turret blood. Mid ends up being nothing here as Creme takes the heavier trade, but OMG get first turret. And for RNG, that's not as good news because they're not able to push and match it here. Herald's even getting another charge dagger, and it's a Trundle Kennen. Like, this is going to be 2 turrets for none.
Yeah, it's going to be super nice for OMG. Bin now trying to roam up, but a little bit late to the party, and nicely done here. I mean, yeah, you're going to stop another charge, but it's not the end of the road. You've already got what you came for here on an OMG side. So, I mean, realistically, it looks like OMG have kind of gone, look, Abel, we're sorry for you. They burnt your summoner spells early. We don't want to try and risk making that play bot side. Instead, we're just going to focus on saying, hey, if Shanji can get onto this short-range composition, that can be enough to enable us in team fights.
That's right. You talked about it. You know, we mentioned a lot of AoE. We mentioned how this cop kind of operates. Shanji in a great position with 20 CS. Jungle as well. Now hitting up the Frostfire Gauntlet. We're close to Creme picking up his item as well. I note on the other side that RNG still have the Gore Drinker. They've got the Gale Force now picked up here for Gala, who's in an awesome position too with a 1,000 gold lead. But the lead overall belongs to OMG. They got the first objective in the Dragon too. They picked up the Herald. There's another one in 30 seconds. OMG obviously taking it a little bit more serious this game, going a bit more standard and hoping that they can force us to a game 3 when, you know, it is kind of about pride at this point and wondering whether OMG are going to be good enough to hit summer playoffs when they finally return.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a big test for OMG this game, just because when you look at like the way they have to operate in team fights, it's pretty difficult because of Ming. Like, whether it's Abel who's fed, Shanji who's fed, if Ming is playing bodyguard at the door, you're just not getting into the club because he's going to be able to knock you back. You've got the glacial augment there. I think the saving grace for Shanji is no one's running exhaust, so at least in that respect, he won't get exhausted when he runs into a fight. But if Ming is just able to kind of keep him back, pulverize, headbutt, whatever it kind of needs to be, and keep him away from Gala, then RNG can still win these fights. And that's not even including the fact that for OMG, you got to get posted on these objectives early. Like, you need to be the ones with vision control. You need to be denying the vision of RNG on flanks to enable Shanji to set up these plays.
Xiaohu on the top side getting ready for a ward trade, but it goes down eventually anyway. And further to your point about Ming, I mean, this guy has been so good in teamfight setups as well. Denial of Shanji is going to be huge, and as we get towards his first item with mobility boots, we'll be keeping an eye on the cow, especially towards this next dragon, which is about a minute 5. So quick resets coming through here from RNG. We'll have all mythics as well, by the way, at least on the 4 carries. Am I saying that too early? No, Eclipse actually just picked up for Bin. He also has a Hex Drinker, so the level 11 Graves also at a pretty big point, Dagda. And I'm ready for the Dragon because, like, we talked about how standard RNG were looking, but there's certain specific win conditions for OMG that look quite obtainable.
Yeah, especially as they kind of got the nice reset here, but unfortunately with Abel being a bit late on his reset, you just don't have the numbers power to try and set up in River. So RNG now moving in, they feel confident to get control, and again, this is about denying access for Shanji to the river, and I mean, that's exactly what you can see here. So Gala, in theory, should be relatively safe when it gets towards these fights, unless you get like Flash from Cold into Shanji's setup.
Oh, Pillar comes through, and Shanji going to be poked out. Nothing happens. Okay, Xiaohu over the wall on top of Cold. There's a bit of damage. Now, we go back to nothing. 3 seconds till Dragon, and dude, just give me some blood. I really just want to see a fight come through. Teleport! Teleport, Dagda. Teleport. What happens now?
I was going to say, I actually thought, I was like, you know what? OMG have set this up well. Creme's pushing top side. They don't really need him. They can just, like, give Dragon, actually maybe take the inhibitor turret. But instead, OMG are like, no, we're going. So, looks like we might end up actually having a bit of blood for the Blood God here. Shanji hiding over the ball, seeing if he can bait RNG in.
Well, Xiaohu on one angle. Look at this. Everfrost used there. Shanji on the back as well. And RNG going to get pulled in. Wave with the Crescent Guard. Finally, some fighting as Creme looks to see if it's got to duck with the Dragon. No, taken by OMG. Shanji in the back. Oh my god, that's Slicing Maelstrom. But hang on a minute. They're disappearing. OMG scattered as Abel still gets the wall, the ult. Oh, Dagda. Nothing's really happening, is it? Ming's still going to die. Jesus Christ. I'm like, dude, what a fight.
Hey, 3 kills. They did it. You know, OMG, they did the thing. They got the Dragon. They got the fight. Shanji waited out all the interrupts from Ming. And realistically, that was a great fight from OMG. Like, RNG now kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because you're losing towers, you're losing fights, and Bin wants more. Yeah,
he does. Look at this. I mean, Abel not even close to S rank at this point. Building it up, however, as Dredgeline connects onto him. But Xiaohu just takes him down. Cold now here. And I love how there's like such concrete, you know, situational play. Cold almost dies, but now we're just getting into the chaos because players are probably as bored as they look. They're like, can we do something? Creme with the Crescent Guard. Abscond duck there. He misses. And we get from really intelligent play, Dagda, slow play, to just mind-numbingly fighting mid.
Hey, if you're Creme, you're all right with that. Because you pick up 3 kills from this. You got kills for Shanji. And you're catching the replay, right? Like, Creme does a really good job here of, like, making Ming commit his resources. So, now you look at Shanji, you know you've got no headbutt, no pulverize, and you're able to get access towards Gala. So, Gala's got the flash out of here. You've now got Shanji keep control of Ming and Bin. So for OMG, with able to flash away from Xiaohu, they can finish off these backliners. Xiaohu's not able to actually get the damage down, and this was just a really well orchestrated fight from OMG that RNG kind of got baited into by Creme and Shanji. So really nice job from the solo laners of OMG.
And then Big comes in after the fact, and RNG with the solo lanes start abusing their damage a little bit, but yeah, Cold trying to go in when the rest of the backline assaulted by Xiaohu.
Yeah, I think the Able a little bit surprised by how much damage Xiaohu has, but again, Creme just here in the nick of time. And this Sylas is kind of huge right now. Like 2 items already completed, 6 stacks in the Dark Seal. Creme is going to be a major issue for RNG, and we've seen when Creme gets fed, that's when OMG are at their most deadly. So RNG, you kind of need to start cleaning this up because there's a very real chance OMG can run away with these team fights.
Yeah, let's hope at least, you know, that confidence brings them into this mid game, right? We've got 2 dragons now as well, something to play towards. 3-0 here from Creme. He's got his Onus Hourglass now picked up, so further to the point as Lens almost spots out Xiaohu. Just on the edge from tickling that little red line. OMG looking for more blood. Now it's about a 4k gold lead here at the 20-minute mark. We are moving into opened up lanes. And what I'm talking about here is the elongated top side, bot side as well, that OMG can push up against. Notice that RNG have objective gold Dagda on top lane and mid lane turret that are outers. But the biggest thing right now is getting access to them.
Yeah, and that is going to be pretty hard. I mean, you've got the good answer in side lanes for Creme. Like, I don't know who actually can deal with Creme right now. Xiaohu doesn't have enough burst damage, and Creme, the Sylas is actually relatively okay to go against the LeBlanc, just with the ability to kind of follow her after she dashes away.
Nice played well. Ming actually not going to get anything here with his tech flash over the wall. That was Gala's ulti. We didn't really talk about the interaction, but Able is able to press W and it blocks a Sigil, it blocks Gala's ulti, his poke, it blocked, excuse me, Bin's ulti as well. Like, there's a lot that this Samira didn't get to show us in game 1.
Yeah, and now with the engage.
They're deep. They're deep and the minion wave is thin. Shanji with the flank, though, might turn it around. Creme is coming with the Everfrost and the Unbreakable Will, and Way's dead. The turret not going to exist for too much longer as Unbreakable finally used. Gala, Gale forces away. Creme under turret, though. They're sticking around pretty deep. Gala and melee range. And Xiaohu's not here. The LeBlanc's in a side lane while OMG are just tackling down Bin. He'll survive for now, but RNG just sticking around against a team that has so much gap close.
And OMG are destroying them. We said that this was the part of the game where OMG are the strongest, and they're showing it. They pick up the fight of Dragon, 3 kills to Creme. Creme is stealing the Unbreakable Will, and he's happy to, as Larry, to dive underneath those turrets. Now, you've got vision control in this bot, well, very little vision control, but some vision in this bot side jungle for OMG. You got resets just in time for the 3rd dragon, and for RNG, they're going to be limping their way back towards a fight that they don't really want to take right now. You'll see it in the replay. The engage, not quite able to get onto Gala, but Shanji in behind, Creme as well, and Creme is just able to survive for so long with this Unbreakable Will. Like, this guy just does not die when you're Sylas and you've got this spell.
Gala moved up there. He had to Gale Force it. It's a Sylas. They knew that Shanji and Creme were coming from bot side turret because they just took the inner turret down. So it wasn't really a mystery, Dagda. I might sound salty. I think I am salty, actually. Xiaohu's found Shanji. Good knock-up. Really beautiful duo from Ming and Xiaohu. That was quick as well. They're going to sacrifice Dragon for it, but when RNG are behind, yeah, maybe it starts off the Baron buff.
Yeah, and look at the vision that's there. I mean, Bin has a bunch of wards to TP to if he wants to try and go for some sort of a flank play. Dragon just secured by Aki, anti-smited, so doesn't have enough in the tank here if they want to try and look for the steal. If RNG can burst it out, but they don't know that Aki doesn't have smite for a few seconds.
Oh, they don't. Good point. 4k, though. It's going down pretty quick as the guns are perfect here. Crescendo over the wall to steal. An attempt, but Ming blocks it out. Cold on the back line. Setting up for Able, though, as the fight comes through and the objective bounty's taken. Able will take down Xiaohu. This LeBlanc was fed. Now out of the equation as OMG on the chase. RNG are split up. This is the action I wanted as Able gets tagged down, but Gala flashing away, dodging everything, but Shanji's on the flank. He wants the AD carrying with a slicing maelstrom. He tears him apart. It's up to Way and Bin, but as Bin gets stretch line in, the ulti from Way not available. It's all done here. RNG tried, but failed.
And now TP's into the mid lane. OMG, they want to try and end this, or at least crack open the base. And with 20 seconds until a lot of members of RNG are up, they can definitely get 2 inhibitors here at minimum. Xiaohu, though, 5 seconds. Can he try and hold on? But looks like OMG maybe biting off a bit more than he can chew. They don't even look like they really want to try and drive the base at all.
No, they've just pushed the wave in, and I guess the minion wave wasn't quite set up, so Baron denied in some way. Objective bounty also picked up from RNG, so kind of curious to see if the gold makes it worth it. Dagda, we luckily saw RNG pick up the objective.
Yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, like, taking the Baron off the map means there's a bit more time for RNG to turtle, which does help out. They get the, I think it's 500 gold from Baron secure as well, so at least it's 100 gold across everyone to kind of ride home about. But with the amount of gold that OMG picked up here, it is going to be a bit tough. I think the saving grace here is at least for RNG that they didn't get any more terrors, they didn't get any more objectives, so it is just gold for OMG, whereas now you can kind of turtle as RNG and see if you can hold on for a while. But you do have 3 minutes until the dragon, and that will draw RNG out of the base once more.
Yeah, it's still 5k gold lead, further to the point, right? 25 minutes in, RNG are looking pretty good here. A lot of people wondering why you say RNG, Dagda, and I think because it's the end of the split, you need to tell them about Irish accents and how you guys say the letter R.
Yeah, apparently it's just a weird thing that Irish people do. We say the letter or as or. So, yeah, so this is how an orange E has been sent to me several times.
So I guess the question is, hang on, let's pause here. Distortion going to be used. Xiaohu flashing. Oh, man. Creme burns his own. Not even willing to use the stolen LeBlanc ulti. Nice hit from Xiaohu when the team kind of falling apart. OMG still going aggressive. I was going to ask how you actually say the word orange.
Orange.
Orange. And say RNG.
Orangey.
and say orange again.
Orange and orangey.
Okay. There we go. There's the difference. Oh, I'm glad we got that. I'm glad we got that sorted out. Yeah.
They are very different. They are very different. You know?
They are somewhat. To be fair, though, as an Aussie, I don't know if this is a global thing. Pull and pull. You know, pulling on a rope and going for a swim in the pool. Yeah.
No, we'd be pulling.
Right. Well, I say pull and pull. So, literally the same. Yeah. Who am I to say anything? As soon as we get a team that is like pool, you know, like P-U-L-L.
Yeah.
We're gonna bloody
swimming pool is just you're done for. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna make it hard. Thank you for explaining that again. We're all in Ireland at the moment, so not only have I haven't had a Guinness yet. I'm saving that for you, Dagda. We're gonna have a Guinness together.
We're gonna go to Palace. We're gonna go to Palace Bar on Fleet Street. I already know where it is. Okay. It's one of the best Guinnesses in Dublin. If anyone does go, really nice little spot. It's where a bunch of the old writers and old journalists used to go. So it is a bit of an old man. Well, not really an old man pub, but it definitely has a vibe to it that's a bit like more old school, I'll say.
Okay.
But one of the best Guinnesses in Dublin. And a lot of people don't realize that there is actually a different taste to Guinness the closer to the source, even within Dublin. Like we have places that are ranked different based on how good the Guinness is, and that's what the pour does make a very big difference. Yes, I'm looking at you Americans where I was in LA, I asked for a Guinness, she poured it into a non-Guinness glass and then didn't even top it up properly. I was like, I'm about to cry. So if anyone needs to know, the way you pour a Guinness is you tilt it at a 45-degree angle.
Yep.
You fill it up to just below the harp on the Guinness glass, and then you leave.
Let it sit.
You don't go near it. You go serve another 2 people. You do not touch that Guinness for at least 2 to 3 minutes, and then you go back and you push the what's the word I'm looking for? The tap. You push the tap forward, so you just get a bit ahead. You fill it up the rest of the way with that at just a flat angle, and then it's great. It's perfect. That's how you do it. You don't just pour it all in one. You just ruin the entire Guinness that way.
Dude, you're giving culture to some of the Americans in chat. I know you are. That's how you drink a Guinness, and this might be how you end the game. RNG have been on defensive row for a while. Xiaohu is pushing a side lane turret, and that's objective bounty that he's searching for, but OMG finally group up once again. The flash forward, or at least the abscond forward from Creme, tries to set it up, but Inhibitor's going to go down. OMG still playing slow. They're backing away for now. Xiaohu's going to head back to the top side, so open mid at least for now. The base finally broken. They're going to try and do it from the bottom side as well, Dagda. I will say I'm looking forward to that Guinness. I have only started liking Guinness in the last couple of years, but I know it's going to taste different from a can to one in a good old Irish pub. So Looking forward to that. Looking forward to see if OMG can take us to a game 3 because I've been waiting a while. All in, way about to get burnt down. He flashes though. But OMG are burning the Midnight Oil as Gala's flashed on by Abel. Ulti comes through. The Samira getting resets. There you go. Even though he dies. Look, RNG are finally dead and we can finally go to game 3.
Hey, I'm much more confident from OMG, right? The fact that we saw the game 1 where it meant a little bit haywire on level 1. This composition, much slower pace, much better at setting up for fights, and OMG, they confidently take down RNG.
They do. When RNG is searching for second seed, I mean, OMG making it difficult like they did yesterday. Game 2 much more successful than a Shen at level 1.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't coin flip, OMG. That's the learning that we've had this game. But honestly, I think a lot kind of to be taken away from RNG as well. Like, not really making those early plays that we talked about, like Xiaohu having control over mid. We didn't really see Wei playing mid or then moving that off to a sideline either. So I think across the board could have seen a little bit more action from RNG. But for OMG, they set it up well. Shanji getting a ton of that early pressure coming through from Aki and able to make it work for OMG.
Yeah, again, like it was a much better early game. We saw pretty concrete, and against RNG, who are, normally this slow, drawn-out team. RNG just kind of sunk slowly into the arms of OMG. So we had a really slow early game. It's kind of a shame because when you're playing your last series of the LPL, I was saying this, I think, about Anyone's Legend V5. Even though Anyone's Legend V5, the drafts went too crazy. Anyone's Legend went for it, dude. They literally went out with, I think, one of the most respectable bangs we've seen. OMG in game 1 gave us that. They gave us a piece of that magic. But game 2 was so standard. Apart from this Samira, where OMG didn't really play around bot anyway, Dagda. And I don't know. I just really don't want to claw my eyes out or hurt myself before we get into playoffs,
That is fair. I mean, I would, in general, advise against that.
Yeah.
But I will say, for OMG, feels like they got a phone call from JDG during the break. They got the Coach Carter speech. We're like, look, lads, get it together. We need you to win this game. We need to send RNG back 1 round, send them to round 3, and that was a confident display from OMG. So, for RNG, not really out of the woodwork yet. I mean, you actually do have to win this game, because when you look at the state of affairs right now, JDG, they're on plus 14 game difference. For RNG, they're on plus 10. So if they lose, JDG will just jump ahead of them. So they actually really do need to win this game.
Yeah, they do. Like, JDG will go straight to double elimination. I can see a world where OMG win and we get a JDG second seed. That's just crazy to me. And in double elimination, you get an extra round. You get an extra, I guess, mistake. Where if you're in that round where the 3rd seed would be, then you could lose 1 best of 5 and you don't get